So fun fact about this gun, this is a Smith & Wesson. Yes, because the Colt in this game is the Colt Detective Special. Like the Colt Detective Special, this is a double-action revolver. Only difference between it and the Colt Detective Special, well, there's a few differences. One would be, I believe, the caliber. I think this thing is... No, they're both in 38, I believe. So, two different police revolvers, both in 38. This one, the cylinder swings out on the other side, and I think rotates in a different direction. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the only difference mechanically that these revolvers have that isn't like very niche or specific to the weapon. In terms of revolvers, most of them that are chambered in the same caliber for the same cartridge are going to be almost identical in design. But this one has a longer barrel, which means it's more accurate. And possibly a little slower to draw. But being double action, there's two different ways that we can fire this. You can pull back the hammer before you shoot. And that will enable you to fire it single action, like the revolvers of old, like the cowboy guns. Or you can just hold down the trigger and shoot it double action, which there's a noticeable delay in this game when you shoot a revolver in double action, or any double action gun for that matter, versus if the striker or hammer is primed. This is just fancy gun speak for if gun cocked, it shoot when pull trigger faster.
Simple in some ways.
This guy's gonna yap again.
In others, but always dangerous. Gun training anchors the mind in the moment. By apprehending the lethality of the tool and focusing on the moment-to-moment use, a receiver is able to strengthen the mind-body link. Like with ideas, objects in the physical reality vary in their utility. Although some thoughts and tools are extremely dangerous, we don't arbitrarily limit what we can use. Rather, we strive to better understand ourselves and our environment, so that we may safely handle even the most dangerous situations.
Yeah, I might be a bit of a nerd. If they didn't send me out on courier runs on Silyus, I probably would have been an armorer. But there were people who were better at me than being an armorer, so that's why I got what I got. I was always quite good at taking things apart, not so good at putting them back together. And that's kind of the most important part.
When performing at a peak condition, often the deciding factor is mental state. Ideas have a form and a weight. When you become dedicated to an idea, it takes on a new dimension. It becomes denser, tougher to move, intractable. This tenacious stubbornness is why to become a receiver.
All right. Oh, also, additional point of order. You may notice it's that my reload process looks a bit strange. If you are new to this game, you don't really understand what's going on with that. Every button that you have to use to operate your weapon, it's simulated realistically. So I'm gonna see. Yeah, the help menu. We've got advanced help. Yeah, so basically, as you can see, all the controls up here, these are all of the things. I don't just hit a button to reload. R doesn't just reload the gun. I have to hit E to open the cylinder, hit Z to insert cartridges, hit R to close it again, and only then can I pull the trigger. And this is one of the simplest weapons in the game. They get a lot more complex when you start getting to semi-automatic. And you really do notice the trade-off that you get between a semi-auto and a revolver when the situations that favor them arise. I've just muscle memoried this game so hard at this point that it's incredibly easy for me to load a revolver because it's just a couple of buttons that you have to mash one. Additionally, turrets have a realistic damage model. So as you can see, we've got different components. They're made up of, yeah, all these different colored parts are different components. I'm going to pick up the tape.
Mike was starting to think about suicide a lot after losing his manufacturing job and decided to defend himself against the threat by keeping ammo out of the house for a while. Now, it still tried to kill him by pushing him out a window. When he woke up in the hospital, surrounded by his family, he began to learn the truth. He would never tell a friend that they should die and be thrown in the trash. Never, ever, no matter what they did. So why would he say that to himself? The truth is that he wouldn't. That had always been the voice of the threat, trying to murder him. When he learned to recognize the voice of the threat, he started to learn how to fight it and took a step towards becoming an awakened receiver. He became a social worker and found meaning in helping others in his local community, especially those who cannot see their own value. What is the fundamental characteristic of balance? Perfectly balanced, doesn't move. It is this precarious lack of motion, but with so much potential, that's remarkable. Now, to balance the mind, one needs to bring ideas and feelings into alignment, where they are neither random nor stagnant, equally outward and inward, neither entirely positive nor negative. Within this narrow space of calmness lies the mind's potential. Failure to find balance results in a chain reaction of cascading thoughts and feelings, like a stone falling out of place, running into the next with no end and no control.
End up finding 8 tapes. But as you sort of saw me demonstrate, they do have a realistic damage model. So you can break every component, and that does a different thing. If you shoot the sensor on top, it's a motion sensor, so it will never be able to awaken if it is asleep. The camera is what I usually shoot. That stops it from seeing you, so if it can't see you, it can't really shoot at you. Hello, jack-o'-lantern. And aside from that, there's ammo. If you shoot the ammo box, it can't reload. If you shoot the motor, that makes it turn. It can't turn anymore. If you shoot the barrel, the bullets come out crooked. Not exactly where it's pointing. And if you shoot the battery, the whole thing dies. So shooting things in the right places is very important because ammo management is a big part of this game. And just to troll you, they give you the blicky with the switch. So that you'll mag dump a turret and then lose all your ammo just to troll you. There's exactly one situation where it is useful. Now, you also might be wondering at this point why the stream is named Try Not to Shoot Myself in the Leg Edition. That's because I have to be very careful every time that I holster this thing. This thing is the reason why the stream is named that. If I don't hold tab to gently put it in my holster, I shoot myself in the leg. If I do that twice, I will kill myself. So We are really trying not to do that. This gun is notorious in this game for killing its users because everybody's trying to mash tab quickly to put it away, and then they shoot themselves in the leg because there is no manual safety on the Glock. Because you're not supposed to carry a Glock with a round in the chamber. The Austrian military does it, condition 3. Now, nowadays, a lot of Glocks have manual safeties, but this one doesn't. The original Glock did not have a manual safety, and at least a couple of iterations after that didn't. I think several still don't have a manual safety. Really, it's only Americans that make use of it, from what I am led to believe. Whether or not this is the right decision depends on your personal preference. So if you are the kind of person that likes to carry with a round in the chamber, that is equally as valid so long as you have a manual safety. Otherwise, you are probably just going to blow whatever is on the other side of the barrel off of your body. And if you carry it in your waistband, that might just be your cock and balls. So definitely think about that. This game can get pretty creepy sometimes because of all the noises that you hear. There's a tape in here.
Together, we have laid the foundation. You have shown great potential, but the potential is yet to be realized. We have sent the message. Can you hear it? There is an insidious force moving through your media, weakening the mind and causing widespread dysfunction. We call this the threat. We have developed a technique called Mind Tech to combat this threat. A new set of tapes has been issued to train and prepare you.
That was almost bad. Yeah, this guy yaps a lot. Unfortunately, you can't really escape the yapping in this game unless you turn the tape audio off.
Learn to control our most basic
And that's no fun.
To blink or flinch risks missing the target, resulting in death. With slow, steady breathing, muscles neither fully tensed or relaxed, we train our focus. We breathe in, we check the breach. We breathe out, we release the safety. We breathe in, we aim at the target. We slowly exhale while we squeeze the trigger. Since we are already prepared to operate the firearm, we neither anticipate or react to the sound or the recoil. Instead, we breathe in and aim at the target. We slowly exhale while we squeeze the trigger. The threat exists beyond this world. In this reality, they are weak. Their actions are limited. With great effort, they have infiltrated dreams, implanting ideas. But it is humans who have nurtured these ideas, causing them to grow and spread. For these people who were already compromised and who have nurtured these damaging thoughts, there is no hope. As much as we would like to reach out to them, to help them, we must first focus inward on ourselves. For us, there is still some hope. We must focus all our energy on catching this small chance. When exposed to contaminated thoughts, remember not to be reactive. Instead, take the moment to act inward. Activate your mind tech.
Had to wait for this guy to shut up. In a sense, you're looking for tapes, however, which are guarded by the turrets usually. Fuck. Uh, Think about this game, one bullet from anything will kill you. Or in the case of these things around the corner, a shock. These are little copters that have a taser on it. Ah, we've just got a malfunction, a failure to feed. So, okay, that fixed it. Yeah, so really the main point of this game is that it is a realistic gun simulation. There is more of an objective. It is kind of roguelike. You get different guns and you unlock different guns as you progress that get more and more complex, but are maybe more circumstantially effective. So right now, I have a Glock 17. I started off with a Smith & Wesson revolver of some variety. Forget what model it is. But we are looking for tapes, which is why whenever you hear this dude yapping about whatever, like the threat, that's what the tapes are. And if you play this game long enough, you end up just muting it because you've heard all the tapes so much. But the only reason I'm doing this well, as opposed to when I started playing this game, is because I've got like 70 hours in this thing. That click, by the way. Aha. Let me see. Oh yeah, something's going on. There we go. That click, by the way, was me holstering the Glock too fast. If there had been a round in the chamber, I would have shot myself in the thigh. Some of the safety procedures are a bit ridiculous compared to even normal firearm usage. Like, this thing's not going to go off if you just holster it with a round in the chamber. Because there's like 3 internal safeties, and you're probably not going to have your booger hook on the trigger. But your gun can jam. Revolvers can't really do that. See, that time I missed, and I died because I was trying to rush. But yeah, your goal is to survive like 5 of these in a row. Got the detective special. It's more or less a test of endurance, as you never know what you're going to get or what's going to happen. But yeah, in a sense, yes, you are kind of walking around turning off turrets with bullets. Okay, probably not going to hit that shot from here with these irons. The detective special isn't really known for its long-range capability. But if I don't try to shoot this thing now, it could cause me a problem. So maybe I'll try to... Okay, no, I'm just gonna have to either go around another way or wing it. Yeah, this is where the gameplay lies. It's being exceptionally careful with your health. Because even tiny falls will do a fuckload of damage. The in-lore explanation for that is that in this weird pocket dimension that we're in, the worst possible outcome is usually the one that happens. So that's why your guns will jam a ridiculous amount of times, and why falling off a small ledge results in you twisting the fuck out of your ankle. But this is a game for the gun nerds. More than anything. I think it would be fun to do this this game as a drinking challenge at some point. Right? Because of how much thinking it does require and careful hand-eye. What if I just didn't do that? What if I was in the threat while like 6 or 7 shots of vodka in? That would probably be funny. So maybe that'll be something that I do in the future. Where the fuck is that tape? Tapes do also sing when they're nearby, so that's probably above me, honestly. That is truly the question always, right? Get a beer or lose weight. I don't really get the urge to drink very often these days. But you just can't beat a good beer. I will make an exception for a good beer. Alright, this fucking thing. Okay, I've got like 1 shot left. Got it. Yeah, it's fair enough. The only enemies are the turrets, and we're not really in the more difficult stages yet. The challenge of this game is more for adhering to the complex controls in short periods of time. But I don't know, I like this game. It's pretty chill, and I know a little about far too much about guns, so it's generally just fuel for me. It's chill. There is tension when there is tension. But especially in these lower levels, not much.
Physical actions are a manifestation of mental actions. Thus, training to protect the body also protects the mind. Controlling your environment controls your thoughts. You, your body, and your environment are part of a larger whole. Control your thoughts. Control your body. Control your environment.
This fucking...
Control your fate.
Ooh.
After World War II, a military study concluded that only a quarter of American soldiers were willing to line up their sights on a human target. Now, to combat this problem, the Army found ways to dampen our natural aversion to killing one another. They replaced bullseye targets with human silhouettes, made training conditions more similar to actual combat, and trained recruits to avoid taking personal responsibility for killing. After enough training, you can eventually learn to stop seeing people at all and just see silhouette targets everywhere, even in the mirror.
All right. Where the fuck is this one? On top of this crate? Ah. The fuck? There it is.
In 1919, the threat found a way to severely damage America by convincing the feds to prohibit drugs, kicking off a century of rampant gang warfare.
I haven't heard this one before.
Criminals suddenly found themselves with a state-enforced monopoly on alcohol and used this windfall to buy bulletproof vests and automatic weapons that made the police 38 long Colt revolvers look like pea shooters. To fight back, the police modified their Model 10 revolvers to accept a new kind of cartridge, the 38 Special, which
now I have heard this one.
Armor. Undercover detectives felt left out, so Colt created the first modern snub-nose revolver, the Detective Special. It was small enough to easily conceal, but still strong enough to quickly stop someone. This was an instant hit, selling more than 1 million units and prompting a wave of concealed carry laws.
Yeah, I didn't know that they blamed it on the threat. They just tie everything back to the threat. Oh, there we go. Trying to be really careful not to fall, because that will kill me.
Rich was
Just left that there? Okay.
A lot after the sudden death of his sister. He loaned his sidearm to a friend because he was worried that he would be possessed by the threat. He was right to be worried. The threat took control of his body and drove him to the Golden Gate Bridge. He was breathing in the foggy air, about to let go, when 2 officers grabbed him. Now, later, when he progressed further in his receiver training, Rich started to see that he had never been a burden on anyone. Humans have a fundamental need to help one another, and by gracefully accepting the help
Thank
that
you for the
he
follow,
needed,
Chief.
he allowed his friends
Really appreciate it.
to fulfill their own
Means the world to
needs
me.
feel useful and
Oh shit! I was getting distracted.
of slow improvement and cultivating healthy habits, but
Okay.
he eventually found that he had repaid all of the kindness and support that he had ever received, and then some.
Oh, an expert receiver 2 player. All right. Yeah, I don't think I would consider myself an expert, just a fan. But that's awesome to hear. Yeah, I don't know a lot of people who played this game either, so it's cool to talk to people who are independently playing and discovering this game. Yeah, I've beaten this game once or twice. This is a little bonus stream for tonight. The expert. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely not confident enough this game to call myself anything like that. That's cool. I'm actually curious, 'cause I haven't really talked to many other people who know this game very well. What's kind of your preferred weapon to spawn with? Because there's a lot of them. Yeah, I've played this game a while. I think I've got like 70 something hours at this point, and I've maybe only completely gone through it twice. $19.11. Yeah, I mean it's the most simple semi-auto, at least in my experience. It doesn't have any crazy gimmicks like a couple of them. Single action army is just a fun gun. I always love getting that.
Indecision and anxiety.
The greatest handgun ever made.
Disordered thoughts. Ideas have weight and potential. They exist in a sequence, linked to other concepts that precede and follow them. Mental exercises will forge these broken links into an unbreakable chain to harness your will.
Yeah, I've got crazy muscle memory with the double action revolvers at this point. So that's kind of just, I typically do pretty well with either. Ah, speaking of the 1911. Yeah, I've not even touched Torture Chamber. I'm not. I don't really anticipate going after your title. Really, the biggest challenge that I have in store for myself is probably, like I was saying earlier, I might, for fun, make a drinking game out of this on stream at some point. I am primarily an entertainer, and less of a hardcore gamer. I have my ups and downs. I do. Just because I was late today doesn't mean I love lying. My mods are trying to turn you against me. Chief's Custom Chain. Oh, I feel like I've heard about that before, actually. I feel like I've seen that floating around somewhere. I am not in the Wolffire Discord. Yeah, typically, for all of the experience I have in this game, I really haven't engaged much with the broader community aside from some basic modding to check out some of the modded weapons. Too indecisive to move. Those are all. Let's see. Oh, a jackhammer. Interesting. Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at the jackhammer. From a functionality standpoint, so that'd be interesting to use. It would kind of work because it's the jackhammer. It's drum loaded, right? Yeah, the showroom prototype, because they never actually made any Panker jackhammers. Right, yeah, it was a cylinder. I remembered it had some kind of unique loading mechanism. Hey, look at all this real estate. I guess nobody's been brave enough to list these apartments.
Creatures, always hungry for information. The threat has found a way to turn this strength into a fatal weakness. They force feed us from a fire hose of narratives designed to agitate and demoralize us, leaving our minds exhausted and crowding out our own thoughts. They divide the world into false dichotomies and demand we choose between obvious lies. To become a receiver, you must reject this choice.
Oh, motherfucker. I was wondering when I was going to do that on accident. I was being so careful about it. All right. I'm not sure what you mean by her. So that's something that I don't know about. Whoop. Turns out there are things I don't know about this game. I've played it around Halloween before, yeah, and I always just sort of let me see. Maybe I'll try shooting him or something. I just left him alone. I thought they were set pieces. Yeah, that's interesting. I have gotten to a point... Oh, shit. That was almost bad. I've gotten to a point where I can remember some of these tapes line for line. $760 hours.
The threat has become expert in
Yeah, that's about 10 times as many as I've got.
Inverting our priorities. They make the useless seem important and urgent. The sky is always falling. The world is always ending. You are always missing out or just missing something. What you are actually missing is the one thing they are trying to hide from you and can only be found within. As you build your mind tech, you will become more complete, each part fitting into place until you are a functional whole. What was important was always right here. Yourself and those around you you can trust.
There we go. I heard that. Yeesh. Oh my god, I'm really surprised the thing didn't just shoot me. That light was like on me, basically. Yes. That is in fact my running option of choice is tapping W. I bet you might be able to even hear it whenever I start running. I haven't quite ironed out my microphone setup yet. Ah. All right. Wait, I totally forgot there was a tape back there. That was entirely what I was doing. Yeah, I considered changing it to shift as well, just because it's just generally it makes more sense. And there's something about the tension and like the immersion that I like about the tap run. Even if it definitely has been a source of woe for me before. It just doesn't hit the same for me. I think definitely part of the reason I enjoy this game is getting immersed in the setting. Very true. Damn it. Slipping. Hang on a minute. There we go. If you're wondering why I'm hacking the turrets even after I've shot off the camera, it's just that that's a habit from back when I had a terrible computer and I played this game. Because I figured out if there were too many turrets active on the map that weren't disabled, it would lag the fuck out of my game. So I just had to take the option that was available to me at the time. Yeah, and the noise as well. Oh, that one's downed, isn't it? Yeah, it's right there. Especially with the little flying drones,
Most receivers are initially skeptical
because they can. I think they can still kill you if you step on them while their camera's on, right?
A receiver should maintain a healthy mental immune system that consistently questions the evidence for all beliefs, both old and new. A receiver never maintains a belief just because it's the first one they've heard or because it's the culture they were born into. However, in this case, the appropriate behavior is the same, whether you believe in the literal existence of the threat or not. If it doesn't exist, you will have strengthened your mind and trained your body for nothing. But aren't those goals inherently worthy? In this case, the means of defeating the threat are valid ends in and of themselves.
Thinking about it, I also really haven't had an in-depth discussion with anybody else who's played a lot of this game about the reliability of the narrator. Let's see, some fun facts. Hack the 360 turrets, you can stomp flying drones, you can kick turrets over. Oh, yeah. And the balloons as well. Right, I've never Goomba stomped a flying drone, but that sounds like the most fun thing that I could possibly do. Thank you for making me aware of that. I knew about kicking turrets over. I've tried to do that before. I feel like I've gotten shot too many times. Thank you, Bean, for the follow. Means the world to me. Appreciate it. Bustambe is really hard. So it's tech. It's advanced tech. That's what I've wanted to do to those fucking things anyway. I think the one time I ever found a use for the auto switch on the Glock 17, or I guess technically the Glock 8, I don't know. I don't remember which one specifically is named in this game. But the one time I found the use for the auto setting was when I was getting chased by one of those drones and I was just panicking. Just unloaded the whole mag. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was the 17. because the 18 has like a different back to it, doesn't it? Because I know the 18 was the factory auto version. I feel like I've just been walking backwards just aimlessly. Okay, now this is new. There's a flyer in here. See ya. There are two? Yeah, there's two. Big Boss's alcoholic drink of choice. Probably whiskey. I think the only whiskey or beer seems appropriate. I don't know. I think the only canonical drink that actual Big Boss had was like wine at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3. The only confirmed that I am aware of. But I think that, well, we know he likes cigars. So whiskey or bourbon's pretty good with a cigar. For stomping, you have to yeah, okay, so it has to be chasing you. Oh, yeah. So it's height dependent. Got it. So it's a height dependent technique that whoop, I don't have my gun out. And also there was a tape back here. Yeah. I'd probably only chance that if I didn't have any ammo left. Yeah, last resort measures. Mother-based margaritas, that sounds like the coolest, most badass thing ever. Let me see. What? Oh, it's that, huh? Oh, so the game's a horror game now. Got it. Okay. I'm into this. Oh, yeah, she's following. Whoa. That's cool. Oh, fuck. Shh. Damn. I was too busy worrying about where she was. That's cool. That was worth the death, honestly. The stalker. That's so awesome. Thanks for telling me about that. That's actually made my experience much better. Oh, fucking whoa. Okay. But the chamber was loaded. Good to know. Glad that was in my hands when it went off. Tips for the Glock. Do you recommend yeah, I want to hear your tips because I know my strategy is usually I just always try to hold shift whenever I or not shift, hold tab whenever I holster it, and I'm just kind of trying to make that muscle memory for everything. I just put on the safety as an extra countermeasure with things that have one. I wonder if your advice is carrying the Glock Condition 3. as how the tape hints to do it. Let's see. Yep, keep unchambered. Hold down T while shooting. Will automatically lock the slide back. Oh! Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So then when you're ready to go in, just... Yeah. Okay. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, I never... Those are some of the techniques that I didn't get down as much.
Success is true grit.
Stuff like loading the chamber of a semi-auto handgun.
To develop this trait is through practice.
Yeah. Because basically everything that I think about with this game tends to revolve around my actual knowledge of guns. So I keep thinking, all right, condition 3. Because that's like the real thing that people would do in this situation. And I don't think for a moment like, oh yeah, I can use the slide lock as a safety. That's a unique point of view for me. So I appreciate that. Okay. Maybe I should start using that now. Yeah, it is hungry for leg. Oh, yes. This is what I want to see. Okay, so. Yep. There's the click. That's the striker. Oh, this thing's already loaded, basically. I guess I'll keep a partially loaded, blocked off magazine. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Now that the slide lock is engaged. And it's really easy to see when the gun is safe as well, right? Well, there. Because it's so obvious. Right, yeah, so... Yeah. I was tempted to load the chamber, but I would totally create a double feed if I did. Yeah, okay, I like this. I like that tip. Oh, fuck. That's it. I wasn't thinking. I was too distracted with my new knowledge I was playing. Let me see. Yeah, they're like, I think you need to practice more with the Glock 17 is what the game is telling me. All right. Oh, that didn't hold it down. Oh, damn it. Self-defeating maneuver. I guess not, because the chamber wasn't loaded. And immediately, of course, I find a regular magazine. So there's a very small chance it can slam fire. Now that you mention it, I feel like that's happened to me before. but I just didn't process it as that at the time. That kind of fits in with the overall lore of the game. Where it's like, despite the 3 internal safeties, sometimes even Gaston Glock's design will fail. Jesus. Tap rack. Okay, I didn't have to rack it again. There we go. I did do a fair bit of exploring of the compound when it came out. I was really hyped about that update. But I don't think I ever finished the compound completely. And I reset my game data for the stream so that I would have some things to unlock and make it more interesting. So I'm really getting back into that muscle memory with my semi-autos. Hold on a second. You'll never guess why this message got held, Chief. That's funny. I'm going to add it to allowed terms. That's funny that it did that. Ooh, should not have been tabbed out. Yeah, posting the mod abbreviation got you triggered by auto mod. So I went ahead and fixed that for you. All right. I hit the motor, didn't I? Yeah. Just to be extra careful.
You have seen the signs.
You have seen the signs around you. Haven't heard that one a lot.
Decay and dysfunction. You have realized that something is wrong with the media and the people around you. You know that you are different. This is why you are ready to become a receiver.
Ah, interesting.
You have been issued a series of audio cassette tapes.
Yeah, that makes sense because of the slide lock.
For advancing insight. By continually listening to these tapes, you will drown out and eventually counteract the negative influences from your environment. Once you have absorbed these tapes, you will have taken the first step towards awakening your true self.
All right, come on.
Media is a threat. We have a technique to help. Tapes as part of this technique.
Okay, we need to watch the wall this time. There.
Listen to them to advance.
Damn, I'm struggling with this one for some reason. Damn it. Oh, it's reloading. There we go. Okay. Careful. The PTRD. Oh, the fucking Soviet anti-tank rifle? Is that what you're talking about? That is incredibly funny if that's what you're talking about.
From his second tour, he found it even harder to reintegrate to civilian life.
An anti-tank rifle. That's beautiful. I already thought the Deagle was overkill sometimes.
Separately. When the threat tried to kill him with carbon monoxide, it failed.
Very happy about that.
As he resumed his receiver training, he began to realize how important he was to his family and how hard it was to almost lose him. He started to see how deeply connected he was to his web of reality, no matter how alone he felt, and how painful it would be for everyone if the threat tore him out of that web. He learned to see the value in being a stay-at-home dad and eventually wrote a popular book on the subject, drawing funny and insightful comparisons between parenting and soldiering. This tape is designed to test your focus in the
My
face of
favorite tape in the
instructions.
game.
Maintain focus on your breathing. How did you do? If your attention wandered, that is normal. Just notice that without judgment. Let's try again. Good job.
Thanks, buddy. Oh yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I have to try out some of these. 'Cause I remember when modding became like a thing for Receiver 2. Yeah, it's 14 millimeters. 14 and a half to be exact. Pretty big boy. That is funny though. And while I'm thinking about it, have you made a lot like a lot of custom weapon mods for Receiver? Because I feel like I know your name from more than just the triple C mod. Because when you start talking about like a custom weapon mods, it sort of rung some bells for me. Indeed, Unity is a bitch. And maybe it was just that then. But I feel like I've seen your name somewhere before. Just didn't remember it until this conversation. I've probably been walking past tapes this whole time, honestly. You've been distracted. I see.
Indecision and anxiety are the natural result of disordered thoughts. Ideas have truth and potential. They exist in a sequence, linked to other concepts that precede and follow them. Mental exercises will forge these broken links into an unbreakable chain to harness your will. In the face of frustration, it's normal to feel anger and disappointment. Receivers are trained to understand and accept these feelings and allow them to flow through their
Oh yeah,
minds
go ahead and post it,
unobstructed
Chief.
and out
I don't have any problems with that.
leaving only clarity and resolve.
Ah, wait, apparently Automod has a problem with that. Or at the very least my settings, which for some reason are blocking the link. There we go. Right, yeah, I'll take a moment and look at that. Just because I'm intrigued by this. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I see what you mean by unfinished when you start loading the when you start loading the cylinder. That's cool though. I always love checking out some custom mods like that. Maybe I'll add in a couple of customs by the time I do my other receiver stream that I have planned. If your mod's out by then, I'll be sure to put it in there. That's gonna be a fun night. Be my first time being potentially heavily intoxicated on stream. All right. Oh, I like the crazy cassettes idea. Yeah, it'll be cool to expand my horizons a little bit with this game. Whoa. All right. Let me see about... There we go. A little high the first time. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Decky. We're going to be referring to you as Decky from now on in the stream. I have no idea who you are, but now you are Decky to me. This is Chief's fault. But welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Well, I am a variety streamer, but you are in luck tonight and potentially in the future. This is a little bonus stream. Apparently you are Chief's Discord kitten. You didn't know. Is this... I will mind kill you. That's a first. I've not heard that one before. But yeah, there might be some more streams of this in the future. Particularly, I was talking about doing a drinking game of this at one point. Probably every death is a drink. I might have to make shooting myself in the leg with the Glock too. Alright, let's settle down a little bit in chat. Alright. Bam. Oh, shit. I hear it. There it is.
Together, we have laid.
Oh,
the
there's
foundation.
another.
You have shown great potential, but the potential is yet to be realized. We have sent the message, Can you hear it? There is an insidious force moving through your media, weakening the mind and causing widespread dysfunction. We call this the threat. We have developed a technique called mind tech to combat this threat. A new set of tapes has been issued to train and prepare you.
All right, I've been streaming for about 5 hours. I'm probably going to complete another level, or die, and then call it a night. But I've got some other things that I've got to take care of tonight.
Mind tech is to become aware of your own thoughts.
That curtain's going crazy.
Thought will become clear and distinct.
What, the player paused? Hang on. What was the pause tape key again? But actually, one of you surely knows this.
Solid.
Oh, okay, no, it started. Never mind.
Regularly shaped. When
We're
combined
good.
with other specific thoughts in the right pattern, they will fit into place, forming a solid wall of defense.
Ah, damn it. A tasty ND. Yeah, thanks. Despite how much I practice holding down tab to holster, it still happens quite a bit. Even after like the however many hours I put into this game. Relatively few. Oh, that's it. That's it for me. That was off to my right somewhere I didn't see. All right. Yeah. Clearly, I've still got some rust to shake off. And once again, the amount of hours I've had, as I said earlier, is probably way less than you two. It's about 78, probably 80 now. But yeah, to all my regular viewers, that was Receiver 2. In the future, probably we'll have a little bit of a drinking game to do with this. To the new viewers who stop by, either for the Phantom Pain or for Receiver 2, awesome to have you all here. Yeah, I've gotten like 2 Awakens over the amount of time that I've played. So I've still got a lot to do. The way to play this game optimally, at least for me, is to play it slow. And I don't always have the patience for that. But I do enjoy the atmosphere of this game, and I just kind of keep coming back to it. Maybe about once a year for at least a little bit. Always best to be slow and patient. Yeah, and that's typically how I try to play it. Unfortunately, I'm not always a creature of patience and slowness, which is funny because I'm playing primarily stealth games on the channel at the moment. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, indeed. But yeah, that is Receiver 2. It's always a fun time to return to this game. I'm gonna go ahead and change us back to the screen, where I'll be here in just a moment. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, we got a little bit more through with the Metal Gear Solid 5 playthrough. the subsistence playthrough. So actually it is fairly gimmicky as well. A little bit wind down with a game I've wanted to play on stream for a bit. Just haven't had much of an opportunity. Thank you once again to everybody who followed. It really does mean the world to me as a tiny-ass streamer doing this because it's something that I find fun. If you are interested, there is a Discord where you can hang out. There's a self-promo channel, so I don't mind if you post things like your mods you're working on, Chief. That's cool. I'm definitely down to see more of that. And I probably will use some mods whenever I do the stream that I'm thinking of. So that's an option for you if you want. I don't want to ask my viewers for anything that they don't want to do. And also, really just thanks for hanging out. This is something that I just do for fun. So it's always fun to hang out with people and talk about games. That being said, as I did announce earlier, I'm probably not going to be streaming probably again this week or next weekend. Working on Jackhammer for months. Haven't gotten it to shoot yet. It'll get there. It'll get there, I'm sure. But yeah, it's always cool to get new games on the channel. There aren't many at this point. There's like 3. I'm fairly new to this. But I'll work on getting these VODs edited and posted on the YouTube pretty soon. Anyone who wasn't here to see it, or this is the now 7-day timer before they just end up deleting VODs straight up from Twitch, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, I didn't expect to be streaming for this long today, actually, but I am glad I did because that was a lot of fun. Great to meet you all. I still don't have it. I still forgot to make my ending screen out of all the other things I did. So I'll just do the same thing that we've been doing. All right, yeah. Always glad to meet other receivers. Me too. All right. Well, until, yeah, sort of don't expect to stream next weekend. Like I said, I've got some things to attend to. And I will be away from my home and my computer. So that's not going to, that's not the best for streams, obviously. I kind of need to be there. But after that, expecting a lot more time to put into our main game and maybe play a couple of side games, have some fun. All right, that's all for me. I'm going to head out now. Take care, everybody. Peace. Woo!